Hey, have you ever done everything right and it still falls apart? I want to talk to you about that today. What's up, Central Florida, Orlando? Daryl Dees coming to you from this beautiful Florida day, right out here on the 31st of March. I'm going to flip this camera just a touch. Yeah, that's what happened. We're supposed to close this property here in the middle of the month, and it fell apart on the last 2 days. We didn't even make it to the closing table. I mean, I would have liked to have been at the closing table and fell apart. Would I have? I don't know. So close. It's kind of like losing in overtime. Do you want to really do that, or would you rather the game be decided ahead of time? I don't know. But here's what happened. Represent the seller on this deal, and we're looking at it, and it's a small property. It needs some work. It needs a lot of work. And so the question is, how much money do we throw into it? I've probably talked about this before. And we end up within 2 days, we get a buyer. Great. Buyer financing looks good. Putting some money down, a right strong buyer. And then things are going through. We negotiate some of the inspection things. Everybody's happy. And we're waiting. Now, this happens to be a condo. I know, weird. And we are waiting for what's called a condo questionnaire. It's what the lender sends to the condo association or the it's not a technically it's not HOA, but that's essentially what we're talking about. So for the sake of this conversation, I'm going to use the term HOA, even though technically it's not correct, and I will be corrected by my colleagues. What I should be saying is the condo association or the CA, but let's just use HOA. It makes it a little bit easier for common parlance and understanding. So we're waiting, and it's not unusual for this lender questionnaire to take a while. I was actually on the buy side a couple years ago, and we were waiting for the condo association, and they were taking forever. Had to extend the deal a couple weeks, but anyway. So now I'm on the sell side. We're here, and come to find out, on the last day of our contract, that the lender denies lending to the buyer. Now, my sellers are livid. They're livid. They're looking for somebody to blame. And that's me. I'm the guy. They're going to blame me because I should have known better in their eyes. Ha ha. Aha. But they don't know what they don't know. And it's easy to blame. And it's easy to say. Okay. Now, when you talk about why they wouldn't lend, there's this term called warrantability, which basically says, will Freddie Mae and Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac lend on this condo association? And there's 1,000 reasons why they won't, right? And they constantly change. One of them is if there's way too many investors owning in there. So let's say, for example, you have an investor. Let's say there's 100 condos in the unit. An investor buys 51. Lenders will not lend on that because it is a risk, because now everybody's at the mercy of 51 votes. That's just one example. In this case, it was insurability, right? The proper insurance. And insurance requirements constantly are changing. So long story short, my seller's mad at me. He's like, you should have seen this. You should have done. And I'm like, whoa, 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 whoa. I can understand you're upset. I'm upset. However, in the normal, and this is what he doesn't see, the normal process of looking at things, there was no visible sign that there would be a problem in this condo, except, and this, ladies and gentlemen, brings me to my point today. What does it mean to have skill? What does it mean to level up? If you're a good agent, if you're good at real estate, you're going to learn from every transaction. This is what I'm learning, right? The usual signs that something was wrong or should be inspected, that there could be a problem with this particular condo, were absent. The usual signs were absent. But it doesn't mean they weren't there. And as I learned, in this particular community, there were no sales for about a little over 2 years. Normally, what I would have done is looked at the cash sales, right? That's what. So come to find out, and you can't just walk up to the condo association going, "Hey, are you guys warrantable?" A lot of times they don't know, or they don't want to tell you because they're embarrassed that they're not carrying the right amount of insurance. And now, what does that mean? It means that all those homeowners, those condo owners, are stuck and going to have a hard time to sell, like my clients. So, but what I love, and even though things went sideways, I'm like, what could I have done better? What could I have done to avoid this scenario, or to even get ahead of it? And yes, we can sit there and cast blame. And that's fine. I mean, whatever. My clients can throw my blame at me, and they just don't know, right? They don't know what they don't know. And what I should know as an agent, what's reasonable expectations. But as a professional, I take it upon myself to say, you know what? What could I have done better to look at this down the road? How can I grow from this experience? Become more knowledgeable. Because at the end of the day, right, these decisions are not just financial, right? There's an emotional component in here. There's worry, right? There's worry that, like, my seller's just sitting here going, "Oh my gosh, how long is it gonna take to sell?" They may need to sell. They may need the money for something else in life, which is normally the case. But the question I ask myself is, Daryl, how can you become better? And that's something I've always admired in the greats. Who are the greats? Let's use sports, for example. I'm going to take us back to the late Kobe Bryant, use him as an example, because the reputation he had for growing and becoming and working hard to maximize his talent and his skills on the basketball court were unparalleled. And obviously, he worked with Michael Jordan, and enough said. But Kobe worked. Kobe was saying, how could I better my game? Tom Brady, people call him the GOAT. Well, I mean, personal life aside, whatever it is you want to say, on the field, what was his work ethic? Was he always learning from the tape? I don't have a video camera that follows me through every transaction from the moment of first contact to every single phone call. We don't have that. I have to go back and say, okay, here's what went wrong. How can I fix it? That's what it means to be a professional. That's what it means to grow. So that when you hire me, you're getting the next iteration of Daryl Deasing. You're not getting old Daryl. You're getting this next iteration, new and improved, rolling it out. Now, you may not be able to tell. You probably won't tell. But I know. I know what iteration of Daryl you're getting on that transaction. It's kind of interesting. Back in the day when I was in the educational vocation, I remember somebody said, these teachers go, well, I've taught, 15 years, I've taught 20 years. And the question was, do you have 20 years of experience, or do you have the same experience 20 times in a row? That phrase always stuck with me. I never wanted to have the same experience 20 times in a row when it came to my profession. No matter what I did, I wanted to be better. I wanted to know more, be more effective, be more efficient, be whatever it was to grow in knowledge. Because that knowledge affects the people that are around me. In this case, it's you guys. It's going to affect you. And I want the best for you. So, this little video is just a rant today about leveling up and a deal gone sideways. Really, a deal where I really get to learn something. As they say, you learn more from your losses than your wins, my friend. You learn more from your losses than your wins. Unless you're a loser, then you don't learn at all. That's not me. Don't got time for that. Life is too short to be on the losing end. And what does that mean? It means level up your character, level up your knowledge, level up your skill set, level up your people skills, level up the love and the heart you have for individuals, level up your love for God. Just level it up, guys. And that's what I'm all about. So, that being said, how do you do it? In the midst of the chaos of the transaction, in the midst of maybe my clients wanting to cast blame, and it just comes from emotional spots, not personal. In the midst of all that, what do you got to do? Well, it's easy to get caught up. You got to slow down. You know what I'm going to say? You got to slow down. You got to slow down for clarity. You got to look at what happened. Look at each part of the transaction. Look at the whole timeline. Slow down for clarity. Why, my friends? You know why? Because slow is smooth and smooth is fast. Hey, if you ever need to talk it through, I'm here. Give me a call. shoot me a message. Easy to find. And remember, I'm going to ask for this one. This is my one ask today. If you have family or friends that need some real estate help, please pass my name along. I'd love to help them. Thanks for joining the conversation, guys. Have an amazing night. Have an amazing day. Have an amazing whatever it is you're watching.